What's up, everybody? Thanks for showing up to this very impromptu stream that I'm going to do for Man of Steel, Netflix Watchalong, in support of hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix. Yeah, am I live? I'm live, right? Am I live to my guest backstage? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Just double checking. So I just want to preface to say this is very unofficial and very last minute. I don't really like run a YouTube channel, so to speak. I did do a couple of interviews with some gentlemen by the name of Skywalker the Jedi was my first interview, and he is the creator of hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix, and that was such a success. One of his good friends and my friend, Mikey Sutton, was my second interview that I did. And I haven't done a stream since. So I'm a little, with working StreamYard, I'm a little rusty. So bear with me, please. But thank you for everyone who showed up, everyone who shared my post. I actually have a special guest with me that I'm going to bring in. He is somebody who I got to meet through Skywalker the Jedi and Mikey Sutton. Fantastic gentleman. He has his own YouTube channel. And I will go ahead and bring him in, Mr. Bat Dan himself. How you doing, Bat Dan?
Very excited to watch my third favorite movie right under Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition and Zack Snyder's Justice League. To show Netflix the engagement that what Zack Snyder can bring for that.
Yes, sir. You and me are on the same page because we support hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix, because Rebel Moon is about to drop. The hype train is going, right? And we are going to be engaging with Netflix. And I just want to take a minute to say hello to everyone in the chat because this community is so awesome. I think the first comment I wanted to highlight, so I just got to 50 subscribers. Apparently Integrity was my 50th subscriber. So thank you to everybody who shared my Twitter post about this last minute thing. I'm really grateful to you guys. You guys have really just welcomed me to this community with open arms. Like you, Bat Dan, you've had me on your show multiple times, and I'm really thankful for that. So appreciate that.
No problem. I'm going to have you on multiple times more.
Yes, Space-tastic discussions talking about Rebel Moon was amazing on the first episode. So I'm really grateful that you had me for that. So I can't wait for more in the future. But let's continue to say hi to the chat. Looks like we got South Cali Guy 87 in here. Thanks so much, brother, for showing up. I appreciate you. It was good talking to you post Full Circle. He was at Full Circle, but I didn't get to go to the Still Nation meetup, so we networked after that. So can't wait to meet you, South Cali Guy, when that actually happens. But thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. Qatar's in here. What's up, Qatar? Good to see you. Super Bro Corey, you had to have Super Bro Corey here, right, Trey? Right? I mean Trey, right? Bat Dan.
I'm not that bad.
Not that bad. You're another bat. Thank you, sir, for doing this. I thought this was really creative. SELZSJLTONTEFLIX. So as you can see in the ticker, ladies and gentlemen, that is the main hashtag that we are going to be using to support Zack Snyder's Justice League to get on Netflix. We have most of the DC movies on, so we are going to continue engaging with what we have until we get Zack Snyder's Justice League on this platform. Right, Bat Dan?
100%. And when we get Zack Snyder's Justice League on this platform, we will continue to watch that movie until we hear a certain announcement from Netflix about sequels to be made.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. That's the goal. And we're marching forward. What's up, Neo Sevens? Thanks for showing up, fella. Chris, how's it going, buddy? Chris is awesome. Thank you for showing up. Yes, Man of Steel. Man of Steel is iconic, right? And it's epic. Let's see who we got. A couple of other people in here. Yeah, the movie's starting pretty soon. Thank you, SPR Dave 77. It's going to be starting pretty soon. I did want to give a disclaimer. I've been on a few streams recently, Skywalker the Jedi's channel and the Bat channel, and sometimes my laptop I think has been overheating. So it's just what it does. It just shuts down my browser and StreamYard and everything and logs me out for some reason. And usually I'm able to get back in. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It might shut down the stream, but I did warn Bat Dan about that. So if it happens, just kind of bear with me. That's why we are going to get started here pretty quickly. But that might happen. So Bat Dan, how have you been? What have you been up to recently? I know me and you both missed the Man of Steel watch along on Friday. So that's why we're kind of selfishly doing our own mini one. Skywalker the Jedi, he is the creator of this movement, but that's the official one. But we figured, why not hang out with you guys again and continue to drive the numbers, because there's some movies that are trending on Netflix's top movie watch. So anyways, how have you been though?
Been very busy lately. I'm trying to do more videos for Crime at Christmas Time, which for those of you who don't know, that's the Christmas series for my channel right now. I've done a Hawkeye review so far, and I'm working on some remastered content from last year, because last year when I did videos, I didn't do all this editing that I do now. So what I'm doing is I'm going back and re-editing those videos, putting them out there in so you have higher quality. And I'm going to just confess right now, the first video that's on that list is my review for the holiday special of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I recorded before the announcement of a certain person being fired happened. But I am an honest content creator, and I'm not going to say I hated something just because I don't like the person who did it. So just going to put that out there right now.
No, I mean, hey, give it a chance, right? We give stuff a chance, and then when it flounders, we just kind of let it be. Oh, we got integrity in the building. Hashtag cancel Bat Day.
How could you cancel this beautiful face?
No, he's so festive right now. Is that a Batman sweater you got on?
Yeah, it's a Batman Christmas sweater. You got snowflakes on here, and
all right. Look at you. I mean, you are Bat Dan, so you got to represent Batman when you can. So I got the Superman, you got the Batman, foreshadowing things to come, right? So we're kind of encompassing the foundation of the DC universe. So I did see, as of today, Suicide Squad is trending number 5 on top movies. It went from 10 to 8 to 5 pretty quickly this week. So really awesome. I think that's amazing, because part of sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix encompasses the air cut, right? Because what we're watching is Studio Squad, which was very successful. I know some people want to rag on it. Some people, I have a lot of acquaintances and friends who like to rag on the movie. I admittedly loved Studio Squad. I'm not going to lie. I did. But we learned things afterwards that was not, just like Justice League, that was not what David Ayer intended. It was messed up. It was totally reshot by not even the director. The trailer making company edited it, added the soundtracks. And so that is not the product that David Ayer wanted out. But it was successful. So how do you feel that that movie, which Zack Snyder is a producer on, considering he did film Ezra Miller's cameo in that. So how do you feel that Suicide Squad is trending number 5?
I'm feeling pretty good about that, because to me, the thing is, the Snyderverse cannot truly be complete, in my opinion, without the Ayer cut, because that's an already filmed movie. And I think especially because we know that Jared Leto's Joker is going to be a big part of, I'm just going to say ZSJL 2 and 3 for now until we hear otherwise, whether it's one movie or a series. But we know that Jared Leto's Joker is going to be a big part of ZSJL 2 and 3. And I think that the Ayer cut's going to be needed for the public to see that, hey, this guy is a good Joker after all. It was just Like, that's what people need to realize, that what happened with Ben Affleck in Justice League is the exact same thing that happened with Jared Leto in Suicide Squad. The only difference is that people saw Ben Affleck in Batman v Superman prior to, so people knew that, hey, this was just bad direction right there. And I think Jared Leto's Joker needs it. And that's why I'm telling David Ayer, please hop on board the Cell Train. Quit going after fans. Quit sucking up to certain studio heads. That your fight is with your ally is Netflix here. That's what I want to say. Yeah, your ally is Netflix, and Netflix is going to be the one to get you your cut, because this is something that Netflix could do right now. Just get a cut, pay for the air cuts, and people can see it. I mean, right, and with Studio Squad being this popular right now, this adds more incentive for Netflix to go, hey, look at the demand that people are seeing. So this is a really good thing. And I'm excited. You know, I hope that we can get Man of Steel and Batman v Superman in the top 10, certainly. But for now, I'm happy to see Studio Squad, because it's Zack Snyder is a producer. It's his universe. You have both his Batman and his Flash in the movie, and Jared Leto, though not necessarily Zack's character, who's going to play a big part in Zack's future movies when this happens.
Yes, sir. You're right. I mean, we need to see what David Ayer's original intention was, because just like what we saw with there was a Wonder Woman watch along, which I missed also, but I watched some of the replay. Zack's influence was all in that movie, even though he didn't direct it, right? So
yeah, 100%.
No telling what the Ayer cut has in there, right? And I wanted to shout out to Integrity right here, because he is the man who actually, I found out today in Skywalker the Jedi's space, he was kind of encouraging to Skywalker the Jedi when everyone else was kind of being pessimistic after Henry Cavill's firing by the co-head of DC Studios. And Integrity here was very optimistic, continuing and always saying ZSJL is inevitable. And I actually quoted him on the Zack Snyder Hour on one of Skywalker the Jedi's YouTube episodes before the Man of Steel watch along, because that's a powerful quote right there. And that is something that honestly, I do think that it's going to happen to Integrity. I do. So thank you. He says people doing these watch alongs are a big reason why. So thank you. All hands on deck. Keep pushing. And yeah, thank you so much for saying that, Integrity. Honestly, just you guys are the reason why we're all here. I think honestly, like I thought, kind of talked to myself into this last minute, and I was just like, you know what? If nobody shows up, I'm just going to watch my movie. And because I knew I had like 47 subscribers when I decided to do this. And I'm not trying to be a YouTuber, but what I do support is this movement. You guys have all been awesome. You have just continued to stay the course and continue to fight with passion and being civil, following the ROEs, the rules of engagement, to professionally and maturely get a message across to these corporations that we are fans that want to give you money. So if you just give us the content that we want, we will actually support you and show up and boost the numbers. And it's already showing that the DC brand has a place on Netflix with their movies trending in the top 10. I wanted to shout out to the good Austin. He says, much love to Josh and Batman's in the building. What? Oh, no.
He corrects himself.
Bat Dan. Well, Bat Dan, as of right now, you are definitely our Batman. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to the good Austin. So the good Austin, he is amazing. So he is part of the Cool Table. He is the person who made all these fire intros that Skywalker the Jedi has. I think he made your Crime at Christmas intro, correct?
He made all my intros.
All the intros. Austin does amazing work. He really does.
And my logos too.
And your logos, yeah, your Space-tastic one. I love it. I love everything that Good Austin does. Y'all go to his channel, give him a like, give him a follow. If you're a sports fan, Good Austin has the Good Countdown with Sid Abdul. So shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to all the Cool Table members. So Skywalker the Jedi, Leon of the New Geeks, Necron, the Good Austin, and I'm going to just throw in also part of the Still Nation, Sil Abdul is also one of the people that just kept encouraging us and kept us, you know, fighting for the filmmaker and the art that we love. So shout out to all you guys. Thanks for being here, Austin. And DC Talk 82, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Doing good, doing good. All right, we're gonna get started here pretty soon. We are just gonna engage with Netflix. Y'all go ahead and start queuing up your Netflix. Bat Dan, is there anything that you wanted to say before we get started?
Just guys, just keep going, keep trending. I want to actually remind everyone. Oh, and thank you, good Austin. I really appreciate hearing that or seeing that, I should say, since I'm seeing it on text. And I'm just gonna say right now, just want to announce that Skies has announced a big trending event. Is that the 21st? Is that we'll be trending. This will be our big trending event for Sell ZSJL to Netflix, Sell Snyderverse to Netflix, because we want to have big numbers on that day. Because the 22nd is going to be, I'm going to say something that's I'm going to rarely ever say on the 22nd. Do not tweet Sell ZSJL to Netflix, Sell Snyderverse to Netflix, because on the 22nd, we want our full attention to be on Rebel Moon. So our full attention for Cell will be on the 21st, and our full intention for Rebel Moon will be on the 22nd. I think this was a masterful idea by Skywalker. So let's follow it. Let's do it. And I guess maybe I'll say this more at the end, but on my channel, got some more stuff for Crime at Christmas Time. Thank you, Austin, for the idea and the intro for that. And lots of, I guess we already announced my little nod to Gunny Poo coming up, but we also will have a watch party myself for The Mean One, which is the serial killer Grinch movie that came out last year.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear about that. So
it's a small independent film. Basically, it's a parody of the Grinch. So they don't call him the Grinch; they call him the Mean One.
Okay.
But he's basically the Grinch. He's a serial killer. It's similar to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. The only thing that's different is that instead of public domain, it's parody.
Oh, okay. And you were a big fan of Blood and Honey, right?
Oh yeah, I love that movie. That was a great movie. So of course I have to cover the serial killer Grinch on my channel.
That sounds. I'm a big Grinch fan, so that's kind of sounds something that I might have to check out. So yeah, thanks for saying that. One thing I did want to talk about all real quick is that the reason why I rock out with you guys so much. Oh no, you can't see it. Okay, I tried to update the banner. Oh, there it is. Okay, I added this part right here. inktothepeople.com. The last part, inktothepeople.com/sellzsjl to Netflix. So the one thing that I love about this community is that we continue to fight to support AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And you guys have created so much passion that the Cool Table, Good Austin, Leon, Skywalker, Necron, got shirts made, and shout out to Mikey Sutton and Noel Leon Flores, who did the artwork that created characters from Justice League and created merchandise for people that support hashtag Sell ZSJL to Netflix, Sell Snyderverse to Netflix. These are amazing shirts and designs, so I encourage you all to go to this website, inktothepeople.com/Sell ZSJL. And check out those designs, because the fundraiser is amazing. It goes to an amazing cause, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So that's what we really want to push. And also when we're doing these things, because we all know that ZSJL came out of tragedy, and we're going to continue to fight. Oh, I don't know where you all went. Okay, there it is. All right, sorry, my window just went away for a second. All right, is everybody queued up for the Netflix with your Netflix? Give me some thumbs up if y'all are ready. Catch up with the chat. All right, let's see. Going good. Austin's doing good. You're welcome, Austin. Thanks for doing everything that you do with passion and love. All right. Integrity. Let's see. Jumping in panels a lot. Kind of cooled down. Yeah. Integrity said he's ready to go. We're going to be starting here pretty soon. I don't want my laptop to hopefully not crash on you guys. But y'all continue if so, and then I'll catch up with y'all if that does happen. What I'm doing is I'm going to be having Man of Steel play on my Netflix. And since I own it, I'm going to have the audio play through my iPad. So I can multitask and do both. Are you ready, Bat Dan?
Yep. Are we going to do a countdown?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. Let me make sure that this link went out. Oh, and shout out to you. Didn't you introduce somebody to Man of Steel?
Oh, yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah,
we need to share with people who don't know about it.
Yep, I did, and that person liked Man of Steel, so I say that's a success.
All right. Yeah. My mom loves Man of Steel, so she watched it on her own. But I've been telling more and more friends about it, friends from high school, just people I hang out with. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this going. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start, guys. Everybody ready? We'll give a good countdown. Let me get this. Sometimes I have a Roku TV, so sometimes it can be a little tricky and lag. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a 5 countdown. All right, 5-second countdown. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Seeing the WB logo right now.
Same here.
When's the last time you watched this?
Friday. I didn't watch it during the watch party, but I did watch it that same night when I was introducing that person to Man of Steel.
Awesome. I actually went on a date last year and introduced this person after the date to this. And they were like blown away. They were like, how did I not see this movie?
Well, because a lot of people hated it. It was popular to hate the movie because it wasn't because it wasn't Christopher Reeve.
Yeah. What do you see on your screen right now?
Laura's giving birth right now.
Okay, cool. That's right.
I might be slightly ahead because it said it was on all zeros, but when I hit play, it was like at 5 seconds.
No, you're fine. You're good. Tell me when tell me when you hear baby Kal-El scream.
Okay.
All right. My audio got a little messed up with the. What were you gonna say?
I'm about to hear the scream, and then. Okay, yeah, I hear it. I was gonna say well said integrity. He has a good comment. Okay, no, that's the scream. Never mind. That's the scream. I thought I just had my volume down.
Oh, you're good.
Because I have neighbors, and also the headphones aren't plugged into the TV, so I don't want Man of Steel to be playing on the stream. So
No,
I have to.
I remember you saying that about the pesky neighbors.
Well, that Karen moved out, so but still want to not push it. Oh, I'm curious, Josh. Did you ever watch Supernatural?
I didn't. I was a Smallville fan, so I would catch like I think the end of some episodes, but I didn't like actually sit down and watch.
Okay, the only reason I asked is because the head of the Kryptonian Council played Death on Supernatural. Death as in the Grim Reaper / Horseman.
The main guy or her?
The main guy. The guy who said that the resources were exhausted.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Smallville, that's a show I'm no longer a fan of anymore. I loved it as a kid, but the cast ruined it for me.
Same. I have the same sentiments.
Especially John Glover, like that pompous act.
Yeah, I actually met him, and he's a ham of a guy, but I will say that he's pretty loyal to the cast. I think I told you, like, because his Lex Luthor was part of the Guardians cast. I think that's why he's making comments that he does to support ultimately his son's paycheck.
Plus, also Peter Safran was a producer of Shazam, which he was in.
Yeah. So this is
It's just a bad look to promote your own stuff by throwing shade at other.
So SPR Dave is asking what the cast of Smallville did. They just you want to explain that, Dan, in your opinion?
Well, so John Glover just needless. There's one time where John Glover was needlessly throwing shade at Man of Steel, criticizing the tornado scene, criticizing the truck scene, ignoring what happened in the Smallville pilot, and then the producers of Smallville, like the showrunners, basically they propped up Tom Welling by throwing shade at Henry Cavill. It's not a good look. Like, here's the thing: we're fans, we can give our opinions, but when people involved in these Superman projects throw shade at other iterations, it's just such a bad look, in my opinion.
Well, and I agree because if you really pay attention to this cast, like you were mentioning, just background people, Zack Snyder put so many Smallville alumni in this movie. So many.
Yeah.
Not any of the main cast, but
Amy Adams is a classic one. She was actually in, and the guy who played Emil Hamilton in Smallville played one of this Emil Hamilton's assistants.
Yep. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Wait, is he Emil Hamilton?" And I was like, I got confused. But this part right here, this makes me so excited for Rebel Moon. Like, this is just this sci-fi fantasy epic that I know we're gonna get.
I mean, look at what Zack Snyder can do with this. I mean, this is 2013, and this still holds up a lot better than a lot of CGI nowadays. And it's going to show what he can do with Rebel Moon too. Because here's the thing, Rebel Moon, that's going to show what Zack could possibly do special effects wise with ZSJL 2 and 3.
Yeah. Like, so this came out in 2013. So obviously he had kind of seen, in my opinion, like I got a little bit of like some of the designs kind of seemed like a Avatar type influence to me. And all of this is very like Matrix kind of like, you know, that scene, the classic Neo waking up from his sleep scene. Like, this is just like,
I've seen it one time and I don't remember it that well.
It's a lot of different sci-fi fantasy genres blended, I think, and so well, because there's so much lore just in this part, this beginning part with the codex. Like, that is literally the entire registry of Krypton citizens, right?
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're creating people instead of naturally, right? So with Jor-El giving birth to Kal-El, the first natural birth, he's breaking the wheel that Krypton has established, right? And going against the grain, rebelling against the status quo. Just like a certain guy with the name S at the start of his name.
Exactly. That's actually a really great point, Josh. I love it. And I want to point out that Superman and Lois actually follow the Kryptonian birth thing. They had it that Superman was the first Kryptonian or natural birth. So Superman and Lois, those guys seem to be a fan of Zack Snyder.
I saw quotes from the showrunner that they literally were directly influenced. And I watched the first 2 seasons, ultimately fell off, not gonna probably continue with that. But there was so much that I was like, wow, that was such a ripoff of Man of Steel. So but I hear people love it, and that's good that they like that. I just prefer a little bit something with a lot more budget, a better suit, and in my opinion, a better cast.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake, it's nowhere near the Zack Snyder level stuff, but I appreciate Superman Lois for what it is. I appreciate for a TV show, it's pretty good.
I heard about Doomsday showing up. And I was like,
Oh yeah, because the broken moon was the real Doomsday. I don't know. To me, I still consider the one in BVS the real Doomsday because that's the one who kills Superman.
Yeah, true. So Integrity had a comment about Donner and Zach. This scene I watched this year in April before Full Circle, the 75th and 45th anniversary of Richard Donner's Superman 78. Zach loves Donner's Superman. This scene proves it. There is so much pulled from Marlon Brando's Jor-El in this movie.
You know when I think the John Williams theme should have first been used for Henry Cavill's Superman? At the end of the pentology. That would have been the perfect time for the John Williams theme to be used for Henry Cavill, because then it's a monumental moment for him, is that he becomes the Superman that we know. So that's when the John Williams theme should have played for him at first.
I'm so married to Hans Zimmer's theme now. I think I love it. I love Donner's theme, but I think it's had its time for me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. This is kind of, I'll put it like this. Like, I was very against, as much as I praise Black Adam and praise him for bringing back Henry Cavill's Superman, I thought that was a big mistake to play the John Williams theme for Henry Cavill's Superman. Because, and I'm saying if they really want to use the John Williams theme for Henry Cavill so bad, that's when they should have used it. But to me, this is something different. This is something that really separated Henry Cavill from, and I think that's what a lot of people criticize, is that they didn't use the John Williams theme for Man of Steel, and allegedly Zack Snyder wanted to use it, but Warner Brothers didn't let him. But I say, you know what? It worked out for the best.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people who think like Zack is like defiling the Christopher Reeves legacy or something, like something holy. I'm like, no, the man loves Donner Superman. You can tell if you really just watch, you know. Oh, and you brought up Black Adam. Black Adam is trending number 8. So how do you feel about that?
I'm glad to see it, because I want to see the Black Adam franchise continue, because I want to see that Henry Cavill Black Adam fight. I need to see that fight.
Me too.
And I have a hot take I'm gonna have a lot of pitchforks after me. If I had a choice between Man of Steel 2 or the Black Adam v Superman movie, I would actually pick Black Adam v Superman, because at least like with ZSJL 2 and 3, that's a complete story for Henry Cavill. But without but without the Black Adam v Superman, we don't see that mid-credit scene payoff.
Is that why you did your poll on Twitter?
Yeah. Yep, which lost that one, but I figured I would. But
it's Batman. Batman.
Oh, that one. Well, that's another one. Like that's the second one. Yeah, that's the one that won. And that's the one I would have voted for too.
This is such an awesome part, seeing Zod and Jor-El face off. Michael Shannon, man.
And I'm sure Michael Shannon wasn't enthusiastic about being in it, but I really did like seeing him in the Flash movie.
Oh yeah, he was great. And people said he wasn't great, but I loved him. I agree with Bats towards and use Williams thing. Oh, Russell Crowe.
See, and what I love about, you see that scar that Zod has in Doomsday and BVS, he has that same scar on him.
Yeah. Michael Shannon is just a great actor. I've seen him in so many other things too. I think I quoted that he was from Texas. He's actually not. I thought he was. I think he's from like Tennessee or something, maybe.
Well, I don't notice any Southern accent with him.
Yeah. I think maybe he moved to Texas, so I thought he was from here, but he's not.
But then again, I don't even notice a Texan accent with you.
I know, I've heard that. It comes out when I'm around my like grandfather or other people. I feel comfortable and I bring it out. Costello's way.
Kind of like Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. It's like he has a Texan accent that he like tries so hard to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I hate Sheldon now for throwing shit at Ben Affleck, but
I don't watch that show. So I have no idea what that's about. Iconic. But
yeah, you're right, Castell's way. He wasn't really that enthusiastic for the Flash. I mean, he even asked Zack Snyder's permission to do the movie. I mean, it was a paycheck for him, and you know that's fine once in a while. But even a less than so, even not his best performance was still honestly really good in my opinion. Like when he delivered the infant did not survive line, like, oh my god, that was so badass the way he delivered that. And
the fact that Supergirl was not able to take on General Zod, in my opinion, just showed the importance of Henry Cavill's Superman and how formidable General Zod was, and why. We won't spoil it for anybody who, although we all know what happens at the end, but I think it gives a reason why that Henry Cavill Superman had to do what he did at the end of this movie, because we saw what happened to Supergirl. And I loved her too.
Oh yeah, Sasha Calle was great, and I'm hoping that we can see Sasha Calle on Netflix. That's what Snyder fans need to realize. The Flash flopping was not a win for the Snyder fandom, because all it did was justify the reboot.
I loved it. I saw it multiple times, even though I saw it free multiple times. So I have subtitles on, so I'm seeing all of the Kryptonian members' names, and I was like, oh, wow.
Mine doesn't show me names. Interesting.
Doesn't show you names?
No, I see the words, but because I always watch with subtitles. I just don't understand stuff without subtitles sometimes. Especially now because I have to have the volume down a lot so that you guys don't hear it.
Oh, okay. You're a pack of fools. I love that line. Oh, here's the line. Here we go.
Oh boy, badass. That is such a great line.
I love I love their suits, even like just that. So it's like militaristic, but it's also just like it gives you that Superman feel, but you're like, oh no, they're not. They're not super. They're kind of darker than Superman.
Yeah, they're much darker because Zod's willing to kill people. And see, what I like about General Zod is that there's a saying: everyone's the hero in their own story, and this applies so much better to, or applies so much more with Zod. Is that Zod? To him, he's just trying to save Krypton. He's not the bad guy in his eyes.
No. And that's why I think he's one of the best. I said this, I think on a Sky stream, that he's one of the best comic book villains in my opinion. I can relate to him, you know.
See, here's the thing about Zack Snyder with Man of Steel is that Superman was a very overrated character before Man of Steel. Is that this is the first time that we actually get to see Superman struggle, and Zod is a much more interesting villain than he was in in Richard Donner's Superman. And again, I want to clarify, Richard Donner's Superman was good for its time, and I have no shade towards this movie. I'm not going to go all Rachel Ziegler on it, but he was. I mean, Zod was a lot more generic in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Is that he was just a yes, and I agree. We can blame Gunny Poo for that one though.
Release the Muschietti cut.
Which is why if Flash appears on Netflix, we got to stream that one and show there's a demand for the Muschietti cut. Because even I don't. Such a powerful scene right there. Like,
and shout out to this actress. I don't know her name, but whoever plays Laura. That's such a wow. It's kind of like putting the future of your son, you know, first.
See, Zack Snyder does female characters better than any other director, in my opinion. Is like,
yeah.
And Laura's a great example right there. She's such a like Zack Snyder makes the female character significant in his movie. It's like, I mean, I'm gonna say it. He's probably better than female directors with female characters, mostly Patty Jenkins. Well, to be fair, because we see what Patty Jenkins does without Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and I think he gives him gravitas. Like he really, I mean, I know people hate the word, but it's true. Like Zack Snyder is a feminist, like 100%.
Exactly. But here's the thing: he doesn't have female characters. He has characters who happen to be female. The problem with like representation I have nowadays is that they have to highlight that they're a female, that they're black, that they're gay. They have to highlight that. And so just where Zack Snyder, he just makes actual characters who happen to be those traits. And it just feels much more natural, feels much less preachy, and it's much less disingenuous.
Agreed. Do you know who this character I think is supposed to be?
Is he that guy from Superman the Animated Series that I don't know his name, but he's like that captain. He's kind of a comedic character in Superman the Animated Series.
Bibbo.
Bibbo.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Bibbo. I think he's in the credits as Bibbo.
Oh, nice. See, it's the little Easter eggs like that I love. That
yeah. That's what I'm saying. But if you're not paying attention or you don't, you know, you're like, that Zach doesn't understand the comics. I'm like,
he understands the comics better than you guys do.
That's what I'm like, are you sure about that?
Let's put it like this. Mercy Graves was actually incorporated into the comics and is probably, I'd say, Lex Luthor's comic accurate assistant at this point compared to Eve Tessmacher and Otis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. See, Zack Snyder's really big on eye candy, but he's big on eye candy for everyone, for men and women.
Yeah. I appreciate it. But it's awesome because if you're not aware, like one, that's Henry Cavill literally is spitting image of Superman. He has the hairy chest and everything. We know that from the death of Superman when Doomsday rips off his costume. He's like literally, his costume's like hanging off of it. The fire not, you know, scorching him is actually comic accurate. His Kryptonian hair follicles, they don't care.
Right, because his hair is Kryptonian too. I mean, that's why in Smallville, when a possessed Lana tried to cut Clark's hair, the scissors broke and Clark had to pull his own hair out.
Yep.
You know, a fun fact is that after Henry Cavill's last day of filming, Zack and Deborah Snyder prepared Henry Cavill a special meal because he was on a diet. So after he was done filming, they prepared a special meal for him where he could just not worry anymore.
I bet he had the major cheat day, just like The Rock. I don't know if you've ever seen The Rock's cheat days, but
see, I feel like The Rock's more of a, because he's more of a bodybuilder, he's able to, I think he knows better how to do a cheat day without it hurting him too much than Henry Cavill would. And I'm not saying Henry Cavill, because I feel like The Rock just, because he's a wrestler, so he's like a lot more professional with his body. Like, he professionally knows what to do with his body.
I love this scene where you see the X-ray vision, because the X-ray is very haunting in this scene.
And it makes sense because that's how a kid would be.
he's not sure how to control it, like, right? He's not sure how to like stay focused on like, okay, her face, the skeleton, the muscles, the organs.
There's a really good scene in Superman and Lois in the season 3 finale, because I know you see the first 2 seasons, so Jordan's the one who has powers, but there's a really great scene where Jonathan helps Jordan control it with his X-ray vision. It's such a great scene.
I wasn't really a fan of the Jordan character at all.
I could see why. He could be a little irritating at times.
Especially since John has such a... Oh, shout out to Martha.
That would be so embarrassing as a kid. Can you just imagine that? Like, as a kid, having that freak out in front of your entire class, and that, like, all those kids are witnessing that.
Yeah.
Like, you think the teacher would have a little common courtesy to, like, some of the kids in class and, like, have one adult. But honestly, with schools don't always have the kids' best interests in hearts like they pretend to. So it is, like, it's not a criticism of the movie. It's something that would actually happen. It's criticism of teachers sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I love the music.
By the way, Chad, if you can ever hear Man of Steel coming from me, please comment so that I know to turn it down. Don't want Josh to get taken down by Warner Brothers.
Will they kill the stream if you hear the music or something?
It depends. It's very inconsistent. Like, if you hear it for like a second or two, it's probably fine, but... Oh, yeah, I love this criticism. Clark steals clothes. He's a bad Superman.
I agree, Castello's way. It's totally so. It's so good. It's timeless. It's nearly like this is 10 years old, guys. It's a decade now.
And I'll be honest, I like this film better, even better now than I did when I first saw it. Like, the X films get better. Whereas, like, Wonder Woman 1984, when I saw it, I liked it. And then when I see it more, I didn't. Whereas Man of Steel is the opposite. I mean, I liked Man of Steel when I first saw it, but, like, just more and more, it just gets so much better. And Clark had to make a desperate choice.
We've never seen at this point, in my opinion, like Brandon Ruth got really big actually to be Superman and Superman Returns, but that costume they put him in did not show you that because they wanted to replicate the lean figure of Christopher Reeves too, who was a big guy, but it's just more believable in my opinion, more comic accurate, someone like Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because Superman's muscular. See, I really love Pete's character in this movie. Is that he goes from like this bully asshole to a genuine friend to Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people don't realize he was at his funeral in BVS. He was the one walking Martha down. He was the one who told Martha that an anonymous donor paid for the service. That was Pete.
You know what I just realized about Dan? The way that the car turns, isn't it the same kind of angle when Luthor hits Clark on the bridge in the pilot of Smallville?
It could be.
It looks just like I thought about it. I was like, I can imagine Lex swerving and hitting Clark on the bridge. And I think that might be a callback to Smallville.
Zack Snyder had a lot of references to Smallville in this movie.
Such a great part.
And I don't know if Corey was there, but Trey and his wife Sarah went there to that bridge.
Really?
Yeah, because it's in Yorkville, Illinois, or near Yorkville. But because they were in there for a cousin's wedding, and because actually this was the occasion where I met up with them even in person. But they took a tour of Smallville, and they went to that, and they saw that bridge.
Oh wow.
But see, I really love good character development. And like with Pete, you really see that is that he was bullying Clark and now he actually repaid his loyalty.
After saving his life, he better. Sorry, I'm having my headphone went out again. Are you seeing Jonathan talk to Martha?
I mean, I see them talking to Pete's mom.
Pete's mom. Okay, yeah. I see that too.
And, so they also mentioned the Fordham boy, which, now it's a different pronunciation, but that was a reference to Smallville original character Whitney.
Yep. Whitney, Lana's boyfriend. I remember that arc. Oh, it's such a great scene.
Oh, yeah, I love this. Because there's a point I want to bring up when he says maybe.
Die.
See, what I like is that he doesn't have all the right answers. Like, no parent does. And this is like, no parent is perfect. And with this, not every parent's going to know what to say. Is that he's human. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what the right thing to do is.
Yeah. It's literally raising a god. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Raising a god. And you really see the struggles a lot more. Is that, and like what's happened with BVS proved Jonathan right.
Doo-doo. He really, in my opinion, reminded me of Jonathan Kent on Smallville too. A little bit more serious, but the same type of your understanding. You're trying to protect your son.
Yeah, this line. I love that line right there. Such a great.
Yep. The ultimate immigrant story.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Like once you know the origins of the people who created Superman, why they created Superman, the era, the context that they created Superman out of, Zach is so comic accurate. So comic accurate. Oh, at full circle, so Zach said that, or implied, or maybe in a watch long, that there was a little bit of relationship there with the waitress and Clark.
Oh, really?
Like little friends with benefits. So
Oh, John Glover described the trucker as just rude. Slapping a woman's butt is apparently just rude to
and
John. Of course,
he was defending the trucker, right? Like, oh, he didn't have to do that. It was so unnecessary.
even though in the Smallville pilot, Clark literally stacked Whitney's car and ruined 3 different cars.
That's the thing. Yeah, to SPR Dave, John Glover's arguments were just so hypocritical that didn't even make sense what he was trying to. He was like criticizing this movie for Clark in this scene when his Clark did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just obvious biased, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
And look at Henry Cavill's, like, the way he portrays how he has that restraint. Like,
Yep.
you could, like, the look on his face that he wanted to do something and but couldn't.
I think in that moment he's like, no, I know what I'm gonna do. He knew as soon as he felt that, he's like, all right.
I was so happy when I saw this in the theater that at least he was able to give the trucker some sort of payback. It's like that trucker deserved it. I mean, and what's nice, he doesn't know that Henry Cat or that Clark or that whatever name he was. I think Joe was the name he was going under. Did this? He had no way to assume that he did it. He's just a man.
This part right here is very Batman Begins, just seeing him kind of like traveling. And I remember in the teaser or the trailer, I was like, oh, they're going to do that same thing that they did in Batman Begins. There she is.
There's Lois, yep, with being escorted down by Henry Cat or by Clark.
Mm-hmm. The first time they let, hey, he had a big smile. He had a big smile.
I think there is a lot of Nolan influence in this movie.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that part I remember in the teaser was like, oh, that's very. He's like, oh, really? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, South Cali. This is the best Superman movie. Period. It's aging beautifully. The acting, the visuals, the action, the story. Reeves was a great Superman and always will be, but his films didn't age as well as Man of Steel. I agree. I agree. I did go to the 45th anniversary of Man of Steel and
Man of Steel.
I mean, sorry, Superman 78. And I enjoyed it. I really did. Seeing it in the theater for the first time ever was back in April, but it wasn't that full. I think there's a reason why this Superman's more relevant.
Yeah.
Hey, Lois. She can hang with the military types.
2 Emil Hamiltons in one room.
Yeah. So this is the gentleman we're talking about. He played a younger Emil Hamilton. He was pretty much part of the team in the later seasons.
Oh yeah,
Chloe and the Justice League.
Well, because in Smallville, Oliver Queen literally hired him as the Justice League's doctor so that they could have like an actual doctor and not have to like keep things from him. Even though technically doctors do have confidentiality, so I mean, in theory, it shouldn't matter. Oh, and that was Clark right there again. Who just
watching over Lois? Yeah.
See, as a man, that's so much easier to deal with than a woman with a bucket. Because if you don't need to go number 2, it's less of an issue.
One thing they didn't go into, but of course, I think you do because watch Superman and Lois. Lois is a military brat. So General Lang is her father. He's a general. So she was raised as a very tough woman, hold her own. So that's why she's able to be like, we're through measuring dicks. Let's get to work. No nonsense.
Not just Superman and Lois, Smallville, also a general.
Yep. Played by Michael Ironside, who played Darkseid.
Yep.
DC.
Justice League. In Superman the Animated Series, Justice League the Animated Series, and he actually reprised his role for the Harley Quinn series.
Ah, yeah, true. And I love this. Like, this is something, Lois should scaling a glacier. Like, that's her. She's always putting herself in danger. She's like, act first, think later. She's a go-getter. Oh, I love that. I love seeing the heat vision. And it hurts him, he's not used to it yet.
Yeah, because this is the first time he actually deals with real Kryptonian stuff.
I love that. Yeah, it's Fortress of Solitude foreshadowing with the homage to Christopher Reeves with the ice, but his ship being frozen in it. Ooh. So now the Codex has activated the scout ship.
Yep, and Jor-El gets activated too.
Hey, DC Talk 82. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Definitely want you to make your money if you need to. So don't feel the need, but hang out if you're free. Let us know if there's anything interesting in the movie that you guys know, like in little tidbits. Feel free to put it in the chat. I love learning new Easter eggs and details about movies that I already love. I'm just experiencing it since I mean, I've been having all the DC movies playing while I work. I work from home, but watching it locked in, this is the first time since Full Circle, I'm pretty sure. That was amazing. Seeing it with the live audience full of Zack Snyder fans.
God, I wonder who that was.
Oh.
I would love to do a Full Circle event too, but that was announced so last minute. I was actually just coming back from another trip, so no way I could take off work again.
Yeah.
It's been, but one year I'm going to make time to go to that. One year I'm going to make time.
Do it.
Just announce it in advance. So let's give some advance announcements so we can actually make plans.
Ooh, so I'm pretty sure Zach is a big fan of Nikon cameras, so I think that wasn't by coincidence. Lois's. The first Superman save.
I'd say good, awesome. They're all interchangeable in my opinion. Yes, ZSGL is my favorite, but to me, like among people with the big three, I don't judge if you like one better than the other among those three.
Dang. Oh, this is dirty. Yeah, they got close real quick. So did you know about this? Did you know that there was a reference to Lobo?
No, I did not.
DC Talk. Elaborate if you can, sir. I did not know.
I know the next Superman movie will have Lobo in it, probably.
There's Emil Hamilton getting to work. Well, Smallville in a different multiverse.
There's the other Emil, the real Emil Hamilton for this movie. Ooh, I'm gonna have to turn this.
Hey, Super Bro Corey's back. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, by the way, Super Bowl Corey, when you get a chance, answer my question about green screens. I need to add stuff to my Christmas wish list.
Green screens. So I forget. So if they're in Canada, there's always like discrepancies between where the Fortress of Solitude is supposed to be from the comics, I think. Oh, wait a minute.
You know, sometimes it's in the North Arctic and
yeah,
a lot.
The Witness reference him about Lobo.
See, Perry is doing the right thing right now. Is that as much as because Lois should be smarter than this. Is that she knows she doesn't have proof. See, I really like Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
I love that she gets told no, and she's like, "Well, you know what? I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do." problem with authority.
She always does. I really hope that Amy Adams comes back for Lois Lane on Netflix.
She's the key.
Well, I feel like too, Zack Snyder has a lot of loyalty for him. Like he has a lot of loyalty for.
Yes. His cast. Good for bro said thanks. DC Talk. I watched it today. The Godzilla Kong trailer was epic.
Still have not seen any of those movies.
Oh my god, epic! It's very, very cinematic. It's a great franchise. I highly encourage it. You watch it.
It's the only reason I've missed the Bat channel lately because I always I'll drop a like, give my support, but because I've never seen the Godzilla stuff, I'm so behind on it.
I'll elaborate further. Might try to join the Bat channel, Super Bro, and y'all's next. I don't know if I'll be able to do the watch party, but y'all discuss the next episode. Definitely give my thoughts about the trailer.
Oh, nice.
I love the sequence where they explain Krypton's Superman's origin.
Oh, that's really interesting to know. Good.
Amy Adams.
Because I hate recast, and I want Snyderverse to be free of recast.
Hey, Zach's already backed Ezra, Amber, everyone that the media has tried to cancel of his cast. Zach is pretty real. So,
and I know we've both been very supportive of Ezra. Amber, I haven't spoken of because I'm not informed on that situation, so I don't feel it's my place to speak on that. But
hey, she's part of the Nightmare, and that's a team. So, yeah. I want to see. I love Mara. I thought she was a badass. Amber Heard is a different story, but Mara is a badass to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, since I don't inform myself of that controversy, I'm not informed of it. I'm not going to speak on that. But judging as an actress, I did like Amber Heard as Mira in the Snyder Cut.
Agreed. So, do you remember the Zack Snyder's Justice League teaser where they're all kind of in this type of look? They're like statues, and they're all yeah. So I'm having in my head, I'm imagining that trailer while I'm watching the background. It was pretty epic. And like Cyborg with the mother boxes and Batman wrapped around the pearls. I love the quote. Trying something new, breaking the wheel, breaking the cycle.
Yes, I wouldn't protest that as much as I would Ezra Miller because since I'm not informed on that, I'm not going to speak on that one way or the other.
Here we go.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie about to come up. The first flight.
I don't know if y'all saw Fat Dan knows. I'm ready for the first flight.
Yeah, the only issue I was telling Josh, the only thing I hate about his suit is that he's wearing the Justice suit.
This is actually the full circle suit. This is what I met Zack Snyder in. So
yeah, he wore Justice colors for Zack.
I call it Superman Man of Steel Day suit. But for good.
See, it's like in a lot of the quotes that Jor-El says here, they really foreshadow Justice League in this too.
Mm-hmm.
even though there's no Justice League characters, and I'm not counting Martian Manhunter since we didn't know that at the time. There's no other Justice League characters in this movie, but yet they foreshadowed it really well.
Look at that cape porn. Oh, beautiful. Yes, agreed. The music is mwah. That's Superman. Here we go.
See, it's just like the way that he like learns to fly just feels so natural. And he just like he has a realistic reaction.
Yeah.
Like how like that smile that he has, he's just like happy and shocked that he's doing it. I would be terrified if I was flying for the first time like that, though.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. Oh, smack.
He is. And he's not done as Superman, people. We gotta, that's the whole point of these watch-alongs, to make sure he's not.
Yep. That's our Superman. I love this quote. Very relevant.
See, that sun line, that to me is a Justice League foreshadow.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with that line, too. That's, in fact, Zack Snyder even used that for the Superman trailer for ZSJL. Like, when he was doing all these promos for the different characters. I just love that. My God.
It's beautiful. Just like the Flash when Supergirl was flying. Zack Snyder's the blueprint.
Hey, and Andy Muschietti followed a lot of Snyder's rules, and so just want to point that out, Snyder only fans.
Mm-hmm. There's a classic pose. Christopher Reeve.
No, Spur Dave, he's not smiling. That Superman doesn't smile. What are you talking about? We don't know Henry Cavill's Superman doesn't smile.
The Superman's too dark. He never smiles. This is literally like one of the best parts of the movie. So like it literally brings me so much joy. And here's the Richard Donner homage right here. Like I don't know what haters are saying.
See, and I like how they take one of the stupidest Superman tropes ever. In terms of Lois not knowing that Clark Kent is Superman. That's never made sense. And I'm glad that Zack Snyder threw that out the window.
Yeah. He really takes this everything seriously, you know. DC, the roots of it were everything's just magic. We talked about that in Wonder Woman 84 watch along I was doing with Sky. Like everything just is like, oh, it's magic, just go with it. But no, Zack really gives you reason and purpose and gravitas in his world.
Well, yeah, just like the gods are going to be Kryptonian.
So it's a long story, but my great grandparents are actually a big part of my upbringing. And Martha and Jonathan Kent, I always felt like my grandparents were basically Jonathan and Martha Kent raising me. So those values. So that little scene that she had was just very much like my grandma.
I love that story. That's nice to hear.
There's a reason why DC really speaks to me.
Zack Snyder's DC.
Mm-hmm. You hit the nail on the head, haters. Oh God, this scene coming up.
And see, BVS really justified the scene a lot more.
Yep. This was foreshadowing for BBS. Can you turn it down a little bit by then? I started to hear it all of a sudden.
Thanks. So it's hard about like these movies though. It's like dialogue you have to like turn it. It's like they whisper for the dialogue and they're like loud for the action scenes.
What's up? This is my buddy Solomon. How's it going, Solomon? Yeah, thanks for hanging out, buddy. How you feeling about Man of Steel and DC Universe on Netflix? This gentleman right here, Bat Dan. Oh, where's he at? There he is.
It's hard to point with that.
One of the reasons why this got on. I think Skywalker quoted as you being a hashtag sell MVP, right? Didn't he say that?
Yeah, some MVP. Yeah, you did. Which I appreciate hearing.
So thanks for all the work, Bat Dan, and everyone here continuing to help us get more DC on Netflix.
See, people like hate this scene because it's not the heart attack, but in my opinion, the two Jonathan Kent deaths serve the purpose they need to. They fit the themes of the movies very well. Is that in Superman, it's that Superman can't control everything. So the heart attack death fit perfectly in this movie. Whereas here, the theme is more his secret. So that's why Jonathan's death in this movie fits perfectly in this movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say they should have left the dog in the car, but
that's not Jonathan Kent. That's not Jonathan Kent.
It's not. Well, I'm gonna like a little story about myself. Is I actually lost my dog that year. I mean, she died after this movie came out, but it was that same year. And to me, after having lost my dog, I'm like, no, you absolutely would not leave a family member like that behind, human or animal.
Yeah. Dusty's. Or no, Dusty was the new dog, but yeah, that dog is
Hank's the one they saved.
Hank. Yeah.
And people think that Clark could have saved Jonathan right there, but the thing is, their lives. He respected his father's wishes. Is that Clark could not have done it without saving John, without exposing a secret. It's a beautiful heart-wrenching scene.
And that scream. Cavill is such a good actor. Lombards from the comics as well. Perry. I love this. I love his parry because you can tell that he is able to read Lois and read in between the lines with people. And that kind of foreshadowed what happens in BVS, where she's like, I need a chopper. It's not for a story. And he's like, he doesn't say anything, but he knows. He knows what she's needing it for.
See, I think this Perry figured out that Clark Kent was Superman. I think he knew that.
Oh yeah. I mean, everyone in the planet, they have to kind of know. Maybe not everyone, but everyone who works closely with Clark. And we missed the LexCorp Easter egg semi truck that I think that was what dropped.
Yeah.
Clark gave him a ride home.
See, both Nolan and Zach didn't start with the most famous villains for their first movie, which I kind of like.
Mm-hmm. Breaking the status quo. Nolan did it. Zach does it. Two great minds, two goats right there. Oh, this is so heartbreaking.
I love the way Diane Lane portrays that scene right there, is that she's happy for her son, but she also doesn't want like her to be replaced.
It's got to be weird, you know. It's her son, but she wasn't the one who gave birth to him. But still, she's her mom. It's the mom.
One who raised him.
Mm-hmm. Foreshadowing what we see later. Foreshadowing for the next movie.
Yep.
Hey, General Swanwick.
Yeah, just a normal human, nobody else.
Mm-hmm. Created just out of the blue. No extraordinary identity, just General Swanwick. He knows what it is.
Because he's experienced.
Yep.
So I'm curious, did Lois actually get suspended, or did Perry just cancel that?
You probably
Because
not. You think he just threatened her. Especially after this, he's like, all right, you're unsuspended. Go get on the story. Remember
I don't know why Clark even bothers drinking beer. It's not like it's going to have an effect on him.
He might have probably did, you know, growing up, maturing in Kansas, probably something just try to fit in with the guys.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm sure he had a few with his dad, dear old dad. Oh, it's a great scene.
And I like how that Zach actually acknowledges not everyone in the world speaks English.
Mm-hmm. He's inclusive without throwing it in your face. Just like stating the obvious. There's more than one language spoken on this earth.
Well, he wanted to give the Kryptonian sequence. He was trying to invent a language for Krypton, but he didn't because it would slow down the story too much.
Yeah, I think he talked about that at Full Circle, that he wanted it to be foreign language, like their own. It was going to be translated, you know, subtitled, and, you know, just studio gave him like all this pushback. He's like, okay.
Sometimes you can just picture like what I call the Tarzan method, where it's like in Tarzan, you know how like it's very obvious that the animals aren't speaking English because when Tarzan's talking to Jane, he's like talking in weird sentences and
Mhm.
stutters. So that's just what I think of it for that. Is that they aren't speaking English, we just hear English.
True. You are not alone. I don't like horror or scary movies, and I was kind of like at first, I was like, oh. I was like, it's gonna be like a scary part. I'm a wuss, but just a great scene, intimidating.
So I guess you wouldn't like the Winnie the Pooh movie then.
That's how I haven't seen. That's why I haven't seen it yet, Benton. I mean, it's weird. Like, if I'm in a good mood, sometimes I'll watch horror, so I can watch it. It's not my preferred. Thank you, Super Bro, for smashing it. Just like Clark smashed that Kryptonian machine earlier. Oh, and Corey, I loved the Super Bro takeover of the Bat Channel. I got to watch that episode with your special guest Trey on your show, Super Bro Corey.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl Corey about that. We'll probably do that in January at some point. But we will do the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey watch party.
Is Super Bro also a horror fan?
No, but I paid in super chats for Trey and Corey to watch Blood and Honey.
Look at you twisting the twisting the arm a little bit. I'll probably watch it eventually because my sister sent me a Winnie the Pooh like funny meme, and I was just like, it made me like start looking at all these funny Winnie the Pooh things. So I'd love to see a different take on that. I'll watch it eventually.
See, it's another one of those moments. I have to turn it down now because the music's playing. I have to turn it up when they're just talking to each other, and
it went really high in my headphones too. So
like all movies are like this. It's like I don't know why it is, but it's like dialogue. They're like whispering to each other, and the music and action scenes are like blasting. It's like why do they do that?
You don't like horror, Super Bro Corey? Me neither. Oh, this is one of my favorite scenes. Straight, I think pretty straight from the comics too. There's I forget which one, but
and you notice it says Sullivan's on there.
Chloe.
I'm sure that was before that character became controversial.
Oh yeah. Yeah, before all that Nixon stuff. Thoughts on the theory that we are all Kryptonians?
What?
So I guess like because Kryptonians settled, so they obviously look humanoid. They look like us. So, I mean, yeah.
Oh, could be. They just evolved differently.
Especially in this universe, in the DC universe.
I just see you see Pete's turnaround right there is that he helps Clark up instead of.
Well, Pete Ross and Clark are supposed to be besties, as we know from the comics.
Yeah. In Smallville, he was the first one Clark told a secret to.
Mm-hmm. I did like when they eventually brought him back to have his little closure for his story, because I think the actor stopped coming as a regular in like season 3. Yeah.
End of season 3.
Yeah. Hey, we got El Necron in the building. What's going on, big fella? we're actually at the part where the church is happening. So you came right on time, Necron, where the priest is talking to Superman. Thanks for dropping by.
And the priest has to keep it a secret.
Sealed
confession.
He's like nervous. He's like, this might be an alien that I'm trying to. Oh, I love that. The background, the stained glass.
Well, Superman's always compared to Jesus. And the priest, he's also in Batman v Superman at the end.
Zach really brings things full circle.
And there's actually pictures of like there's this like nobody background character in Man of Steel, and you see that same character in the flashback in Batman v Superman next to Ben Affleck.
I do love that, because that, in a way, although it's not said in ZSJO, take a leap of faith, that's ultimately what Batman does with Superman in the Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Cali guy, the metahuman thesis. Yep. Like, we all have the potential, right? It's within our DNA, but so just like in the Flash, Supergirl showing she was going to show up there, but Snyder.
See, natural comedy is what I love.
Yeah. Here we go. Do what you have to do. I did, being a Superman fan, it did throw me that they made Lois a redhead. But this universe was inspired by New 52, and Lois was changed to be a redhead in that. So
Lois's hair color is not consistent compared to like Superman's. Like Lois has gone through different hair colors. Like she's gone from brunette to black to ginger. Well, not ginger, but red.
I fell in love with Erica Durance on Smallville's, and she actually did the same thing. She had like blonde, brunette, like highlighted. So it kind of made me, when I thought about it that way, I was like, okay, yeah, it's true. She's literally had every hair color. Look at that cape. Looks great.
The cape, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love me some cape porn. And you know Zach loves it too. That's why I had to sport my cape. They just put a lot of work into getting it right. And I think it pays off ultimately in these movies.
Zach puts more detail into stuff than other people do. Other directors do.
Mm-hmm. He's very meticulous. And his team is too. Ah, there she is.
Another really badass character.
Female. Just happens to be female.
Yep. I felt so bad for her in the Flash movies because she was
Yeah.
just like a piece of decoration, basically, but she didn't get a single line in that movie.
There was a lot cut from her. I think she said too.
At
This
least the Muschietti cut.
hashtag release the Muschietti cut. I love General Hardy. I think he's a general.
Let me.
Colonel. He's a colonel. Colonel Hardy, not general. Zod is general.
Yeah.
And Swanwick is lieutenant. Lieutenant
I
general.
thought. Oh, Swamp. He's a lieutenant. I thought he was a general.
He's a lieutenant general. We'll have to
Oh.
ask Skywalker about where that ranking goes. I'm not too up to date on how it all falls.
That's so smart what Superman did right there. Just handed the codex to Lois because he knew that they looked for it for him.
They're literally a team. That's what I really loved about this movie.
Hey,
Obviously,
Lois isn't a damsel in distress. She actually is a useful, badass character. She doesn't get in the way ever.
mm-hmm. These designs too of these ships and like the breathers and the helmets and the suits are just so good. I had no idea this was all CGI when I saw it. It looks amazing. Not competent. So this was very, and from my knowledge of Superman, very foreign to me. Makes sense, but how did you feel about
I
the
liked it because
ecological weakness?
it made sense. Even if it's not in the comics, it's something that just feels so natural that would happen. As you
Same.
grow up, I mean, because if you think about it, like all planets have different atmospheres.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that your body would get used to it. So, and also it gave a realistic way for Superman to beat Zod. Because I mean, Zod's trained to fight. Superman can't fight. He's just super strong.
Yep.
So it gave Superman a logical way to beat Zod.
So these are obviously the start and the foreshadowing of the nightmares that are really prevalent theme throughout these movies. KNIGHT, nightmares.
We need to see more of that movie.
Mm-hmm. So the explosion freed them from the Phantom Zone, right?
Yes.
And that's why they were able to.
Because I don't think they were actually in the Phantom Zone. I think like Krypton exploded before they were actually set in the Phantom Zone.
So they went to every outpost. So did they go to Mars? That's what I want to know. Was there an outpost on Mars?
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Swanwick could talk about that in Justice League 2.
He acted like he didn't know, but maybe he was just playing coy.
Oh, he had to. I mean, he had to act like he didn't know about aliens.
Mm-hmm. And that design is a little similar to what we saw in DCEU Justice League animated series pilot when the quote unquote white Martians were invading Earth for the first time.
Yeah. Zack Snyder ruined Justice League the animated series. Can you believe that?
He homaged it. That's what the people who say they're Zack Snyder fans, they're not. They're not really DC fans because they don't know what Zack's pulling from and honoring and homaging. Like, this is literally all, even these black suits. Like, that black suit, he knew what he was doing. He's like, this is going to come into play later in my franchise.
Or a little sooner than he expected to because of some Warner Brothers notes, but he made it work.
Yeah. And I love that he doesn't yet have the classic Superman curl. He's still young. He's got to earn that curl.
Yeah. Exactly. He had a little bit of it in BVS.
Yep, that's when he gets it. He gets roughed up by a caped crusader.
And it threw me off for a bit, I'll be honest, when I saw it in Black Adam, but I got used to it.
I loved it. I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. They did it a lot more pronounced. You're right, though. I love him. He's so honorable. He's like, yeah, I killed him. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, but this is why. Like, he's the villain, but I like him.
He's a likable villain.
He's a likable villain.
Like, Zack Snyder, all his villains are very likable and very good. Like, they're all memorable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, Steppenwolf is just a henchman villain in the comics, and he made Steppenwolf a cool character.
And once you know why he's doing what he's doing, it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, another Smallville actor.
It's faux Lex Luthor. I remember that episode. The clone of Lex.
Yeah.
I recognized him immediately because this obviously Smallville concluded in 2011.
Yeah.
The final season, and I remember that season well. And then this came out 2 years after that.
So I'll say this. I would even lose respect for Zack Snyder if he threw shade at Superman Legacy, even though I don't think that movie's going to be good, and I'm not defending James Gunn at all, but it would not be good to throw shade at another creator, even if it's one who deserves it.
Well, if you just watch, go to Sil Abdul's Twitter feed and see a little viral video that Zack Snyder did, I was dying laughing.
Oh, you talking about that TikTok movie selection? Yeah, that'd be.
And I was like, I was dying. People were looking at me like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, I had my headphones in my own little world. Oh, I love this. I love this team up.
It'd be a very cool video game, honestly. This segment that we're about to see. Like, could you imagine you're like escaping the Kryptonian ship and you see Russell Crowe?
Guys, we got a special guest in the house, the one and only creator of hashtag sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell Snyderverse to Netflix, Skywalker the Jedi.
What up, Sky?
What's up, homie?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I need a timestamp where y'all at, bro.
Sorry, how long were you there? I was fully locked in.
I was here since the movie started, bro. Nah,
Hey.
I'm just joking. Nah.
About 124:30.
Yeah, 124:35. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask for one more in 1 second. Hold up.
All right, I still got it up. Yeah, I know how Netflix can kind of buffer, and it's almost okay. So 124:47, 50. 124. We're almost coming up on 125 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right. Oh crap! It went all the way back. Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, yeah. Just give me 1 second.
We work with your Super Sky. I mean, you are Super Sky. So
how you guys doing, yo?
Good, man. I'm I was telling Bat Dan, it's reminding me of Full Circle. Like not as epic, obviously, but enjoying it with you guys always is a treat.
Yeah, it's really dope getting to watch it with the people and having people interacting with the stream and all that stuff. Okay.
Lois is about to escape.
Okay. All right. Timestamp one more time.
125:50, 51, 125:55, 125, 126 now.
All right. I'm good. I got Superman breaking out of the thing and he's talking to Jor-El, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smash the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can save them.
That score. That
amazing. With the fallback. Epic. With that score, man.
See, I like that Junkie XL used the important themes from Hans Zimmer and Zack Snyder's Justice League with both Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Cali guys saying, hey, Scott, remember that project I told you about that I was working on? Yes, I do. Come tomorrow, I believe it will be done. Hey.
All right.
Right?
Yes, sir, Solomon. Scene is epic. So how you feeling, Sky? Sorry, I got into that.
Yo, I'm feeling great. We got Netflix head of film Scott Stuber coming out and acknowledging the movement after all this hard work that you guys have been doing, and it really has changed the game for the entire movement. It's really given what we've been saying a lot of validity, right, and has put the world on notice that we've been here and that we've been viable this entire time. So I'm just really excited, and I'm looking forward to continuing to engage with Netflix and kind of push these numbers up as high as we absolutely can. And shouts out to all of you guys for participating in these engagement events and watch-alongs and all that stuff, because it does nothing but help the community as a whole. So much love to you guys, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I stopped by here, you know what I'm saying, to show some love, because y'all showing love. So much love, people all around.
Yeah, man. Like Netflix, Scott Stuber knows who you guys are, who we are. Like that is huge, man. So exciting.
Can't be denied, Joe. A certain segment, right, of the Zack Snyder fandom.
They specifically, know. Positive acknowledgement too.
Yeah.
That means they know what's happening. They're paying attention.
And I don't worry, Sky. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream about what we're doing the 21st and the 22nd. One day, tweet a bunch of ZSJL and Cell, and the next day, don't tweet any of it.
Yes, yes, yes. We want to make sure that we are one making a lot of noise and giving Zack Snyder a great runway to be able to really dominate the conversation come December 22nd. So come the 21st, we're going to make a whole bunch of noise, and we're going to be very loud and clear. You think you can threaten my mother? I'm sorry.
Love that scene. It's what Lex Luthor said in BBS. Every special's boy, or every boy's special lady is his mother. And you see that right here in Man of Steel.
Yep. Right. But yeah, I've just really been enjoying these past few days, Josh, and I can't wait for the 21st. We're gonna do a trending event on Twitter where we're gonna make a whole bunch of noise, and then come December 22nd, I want 100% of everyone's focus as a Zack Snyder fan to be on Rebel Moon, and I really want that to dominate the conversation at that point. So we're just gonna make sure that we're making a whole lot of noise the day before, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I don't know how you feel, but I sense with all these, like, shout out to Sin Havoc, all these Snyder fans talking about the Snyderverse being over. I think people have started to jump on board with this movement now. I saw a lot of new faces checking out the space earlier. I don't know how you're feeling, but I just sense people are starting to wake up to these narratives that certain people want to push. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's because of your ROEs, I think.
Yeah, right. We've been very clear about that from the very beginning, and we haven't wavered on that. We've always really known that what we were doing had been working and had been making Netflix aware of what we were asking for the right way, right? But we had been getting a whole lot of pushback this entire time about the way that we were operating things and not wanting to mix hashtags, and it was actually even told to us that, hey, like, if certain people didn't rock out no more, that this whole thing would die. But that hasn't been the case at all, and you guys continue to show that you were ready and willing to engage with these things the right way. And luckily, Netflix heard us. The late great Mikey Sutton is right again.
Yep.
And
he was right.
Yo, he kept telling everybody, yo, Netflix is interested. They're interested, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they love Zach. They love this campaign and everything. And that really was part of our true north this entire time, no matter what was really going on outside of the movement.
Yeah, shout out to Sil Abdul and the late great Mikey Sutton, who really, I think you quoted as them like helping us trudge through some difficult times with, you know, the pandemic going on and news not really, you know, not sure what was happening. And Mikey has always been right. Like Qatar said, hashtag Mikey was right.
Yeah.
He recently was confirmed as he dropped a scoop on Night Shift for you, I think.
Yeah.
Back 4 months ago. The next day, he revealed it publicly on my stream when I interviewed him that Sabretooth would be in Deadpool 3. And
yeah.
Enough,
right?
Scoop confirmed. Another one.
Another one.
Mikey's going to have a lot more W's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fiora, man. She just...
This is like one of the hardest scenes, yo. Her just giving him the hands while explaining evolution to him is just great, right? Like
Justice League animated series. Justice League animated
right. That
no, that's a cartoon.
That
doesn't
can't be the
count
same.
as...
That can't be the same vault that Vanderbilt was in, right?
The Snyder Cut was already there. It existed.
Right.
There's a time loop.
And also that big Kryptonian, in addition to Pharaoh, but that big Kryptonian next to her was also in the Flash movie too, which
Namek.
what's his name?
Namek. I think that I don't know.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
Sears, that's
either
funny.
Namek or like Namek.
Yeah,
It's one of the two. Man, but let me ask you guys, right? As two people that have been really rocking out with this thing from like early on, how did it feel for you guys to see those comments from Scott Stuber that really put a lot of validity to what we've been doing?
It was very surreal, honestly. It was just like we knew it was going to happen at some point, but just to see it for real, it's just giving me the early 2020. When I say 2020, I don't mean with COVID. I mean with like Snyder Cut coming vibes. It really gave me those vibes that this is happening and it's happening soon.
I rewatched the Man of Steel watch along when you didn't even know what was happening. So I was listening. I was working today and I was listening to you get the news broke, and I like your excitement. You know, I had already known about it, but I relived your excitement all over again. Like I was literally shocked because I didn't see it. It broke on December 1st. I don't think I saw it officially read the article until the next day. And I was just like, so proud of you, Sky. So proud of you. And Leon, Austin, Necron, Sil, Mikey. Like, it showed, like, it's y'all's bravery at full circle really was what made that happen, Sky, in my opinion. Like,
you confirmed Zach was interested.
Because, like we said, like I said in your space, like, to tell people 100%, nobody was asking Zach questions really about continuing. And it's weird. I'll be honest, like the usual suspects I mentioned on Skywalker Space, how I followed people who I probably shouldn't have for a long time in this movement. Nobody was wanting to ask the questions because they didn't want the answers. They didn't even want to hear it because they weren't interested in going forward. But Skywalker was like, no, we're here for a reason. You were
real Snyderverse fans
for a reason.
It's very weird when I see these Snyder fans celebrating that Zach is done with DC just to be right. It's like this is something you want to be wrong about if you truly are a Snyderverse fan. Like fuck whatever agendas you have. Like, we just want the damn story complete, and we should all want that. Like, to celebrate not getting it, allegedly not getting it, makes me question, are you a Snyderverse fan, really?
Well, it's funny when you put certain, YouTube thumbnails with huge font, and you say you're a Zach fan, right? And you want more of his movies, but you really are wanting, by your actions, views, clicks, and clout. That's what you're wanting.
Yeah.
You're a YouTuber, and I don't blame. I like some of these people. I'm not knocking their hustle. I don't know what their lives are like. I'm a professional. Okay, I have a job. I have a day job. I'm doing this out of passion. Sky, I know, has a job. Bat Den, I know you have a job. You all stream and you do this because you are fans. You don't do it to make a living or to get super chats or whatnot. Those are great. They help you obviously sustain your life, right? You need that, but you also aren't doing it just for that. Some of these people, the reason they're so willing to go, okay, well, this reboot is happening now, we got to push this, is because they're just going with the Hollywood narratives. Like Sin Havoc said, they're called ops.
Damn.
And I've watched you guys, like I said, y'all didn't know who I was. I've watched y'all all for years. I've watched y'all, okay? I come from a psychology behavioralist background. This guy This is what they should have told you, Sky, after Full Circle. This is what this is what they should, but obviously they're pride,
right.
selfish pride.
This is us coming out of Full Circle with all those answers. You know what I'm saying?
This is literally Colonel Hardy is the family. Tell them, Colonel. What do they say? What do they say?
Hey.
You got Zack Snyder on video saying he wants to continue, that he would be willing.
Right.
And Ben Affleck going out of his way, mind you, Ben Affleck going out of his way to answer that too.
That was crazy.
He didn't need to do that.
And look, let me say this. You either learned a great lesson from Full Circle or you repeated those same mistakes if you were a content creator. Because even if you look at a Sil Abdul, right? Sil Abdul stated that every single one of his sources was telling him that Zack Snyder was going to say he was done. Right. So obviously coming out of Full Circle with the answer that we got, Sil was like, man, like he really had to actually think about that, right? So you would think that people would have learned from that situation, right? But instead, some repeated the same mistakes, which really makes me think that, hey, maybe that was done on purpose. Because saying that Zack was done off of a Photoshop picture when we all were aware of what he was really trying to say, that really made the fandom aware of who was who, in my humble opinion. And I'm just glad that the people can see now that we've been genuine this entire time. I am somebody who, yes, I am a content creator, but I came on to this platform with a reason. My very first video was about the Snyder Cut and how we not gonna move on, right? And nothing that I ever do will be to the detriment of that. So we're here to get this cut out, to get these movies out, and I'm just very happy that people are finally getting to see that we've been having a good idea that was viable this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that I really appreciate is that you, Leon, Austin, Necron, so y'all have been nothing but consistent from what I've seen. You know, like I was saying, I've watched y'all for years, you know, and I study behavior, and like I told you earlier in the space, this last week has shown interesting behavior for people and what their real agendas are, and it's not putting the best foot forward when you're trying to push something that's not true, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, yo, that Zack was done thing was crazy, y'all. I ain't gonna even front. I'm like, how we gonna say that? And we literally came out of Full Circle with an answer, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally came out of Full Circle with a clear answer, and his answer didn't sound like it was gonna change anytime soon. It seemed pretty definitive, right, guys? Like, this wasn't something that he like hadn't thought about, or right, he was going to change his mind a few months later. It really seemed definitive, like, hey, we all want to do this. And so to see anybody that was ever claiming to be a hardcore Zack fan and they are content creators, for them to put that narrative out, I think was a bit problematic, and the fan base kind of saw that too.
And the lack of coverage, honestly, of your question, just the event in general, honestly, like with the Campions or the Grace Randolphs, or, you know, there's the lack. Oh, and I watched them to see what they were going to say. People would ask them, why are you not covering this? Oh, and that just very dismissive, not even acknowledging, but you want to promote every other, you know, superhero franchise, shared universe. It's really interesting. So like Qatar said, it's all about money.
Hey.
Yeah, and Hollywood was against Zack. Is that, everyone wants to support Gunny Poo's stuff because that's where DC is heading right now to people, and that's where the money is to support to get the passes from Warner Brothers. And it's just ridiculous because we're not asking for a whole universe. We're just asking for a conclusion to a story that we love, and then we can move on. Here's an example I like to bring up. Legends of Tomorrow. That was a garbage show starting season 3. And there's this campaign, Save Legends of Tomorrow. I have not once shitted on the campaign because it doesn't affect me. I'm not going to watch Legends of Tomorrow, but other people want a conclusion to their story. I say good for them. And that's how it should be with the Snyderverse. We just want a conclusion to the story. We're not asking for other stuff to be canceled. And that's why I love the Cell campaign, because it's not focusing on firing James Gunn. It's just focusing on, hey, Gunny Poo can do what he wants, whatever. We don't care. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to ask him. We're just going to focus on the conclusion to the story that we love over here. And somehow that became toxic to people.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I love that line.
Superman. Yes. I saw somebody saying, wait, so that article was fake about Zack moving on. Yeah. That was a totally fake report. And Zack, and look, Josh was saying that it was crazy, that he was seeing the lack of coverage from Full Circle. What about the lack of coverage after Zack was clearly motioning to the fans that he was still going after all of these reports came out, right? Like, what about that? He started clearing up stuff on Vero immediately by liking this hashtag and this one over here and this post. And I'm like, why no coverage on that? It was literally days later when when Screen Rant ran an article saying that he was still done. I was like, man, this is crazy right here. And this is days after, and they still trying to hold on to that narrative. So
they're still sharing the Photoshop picture too. They're still sharing it in your mention.
Still sharing it.
Still sharing the
like photo. That was already debunked, and people are still like, how does? It's just ridiculous.
SPR Dave 77. If you're not informed, I encourage you. I'm gonna put Skywalker the Jedi's Twitter handle on here. You need to follow this man for the real, actual coverage. The fans are taking back the narrative, y'all, because obviously Hollywood is really all about narratives and fake news. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, if you're not informed, Skywalker the Jedi is going to give you the truth. If it's bad news, he gives you the truth. If it's good news, he's going to give you the truth. But I've been following him for a while now. It's been nothing but consistent.
Plus, that article didn't quote Zack Snyder saying he was done. That was their inference. They quoted Zack Snyder defending Ezra Miller. They quoted Zack Snyder talking about Rebel Moon, but they did not quote Zack Snyder talking about being done with DC.
Right. Look, but apparently Scott Stuber making these comments is still confusing. That's how you know it's all crazy.
They're trying to pick apart his comments, which are clear.
Right.
Well, spur Dave. That's what the article did. The article misreported that because they did that for clicks. That's what they do. Is that they listened to Zach's interview and they put their own inference on there. That's what they did. But you gotta, if they don't quote it, don't take it seriously. If you see something in a quote, you can believe it more. But if you don't see it in a quote, you can't really listen to it.
I've added Skywalker's handle on the bottom ticker. Skywalker tweet. Is that correct, Skywalker?
Yeah.
Skywalker.
Hey. Thank you.
So if you want the real narrative, go to Skywalker tweet.
Hey, yo, we gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna keep pushing forward. We never wavered. We never told people Zack was done. You know what I'm saying? We never tried to push that over here. It's always been about pushing the truth, which was that, hey, was Netflix interested? Of course they're interested. You know what I'm saying? They've always been interested. It was just a matter of us driving that engagement and really making sure that we did it the right way.
But Sky, I thought ZSJO was a flop on HBO Max, but so if it was a flop and it didn't have numbers, Qatar is saying, like, why aren't they putting ZSJO on Netflix? Is it because their narrative that ZSJO wasn't a success might not actually be true? That really
right?
The whole service of HBO Max, now Max, is still sustained by Zack Snyder? Could that be the case?
Hey, look, we here. We go make sure that we never waver, we never change up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be about pushing forth the truth to everybody and making sure that they are well informed, right? Because that's why we do this stuff, yo. That is the only reason why we went to Full Circle, yo. It was the only reason.
Yep.
The only reason, right?
And that's what, so yes, what there's still hope, SPR Dave 77. It's all because of this man right here talking to Zach all weekend long of SnyderCon, aka
all 3 days, bro. All 3 days. If we was talking sell. You know what I'm saying? Me and Zach.
If you need proof and receipts, Skywalker breaks it down on his last live stream that there's receipts from eyewitnesses who were there, unlike some other people that have eyewitnesses. I was there, right. To tell you. I have too.
SPR Dave, I really go I break it down completely on that last stream where we talk about the Scott Stuber news. I thoroughly debunked James Gunn's tweet about #sell, right? Because James said that he spoke to Zach, and I spoke to Zach too. Literally, right? Like, I spoke to Zach, and there's video evidence of me speaking to Zach, and I posted the video evidence and all that stuff. So yeah. No. We really go in detail, into painstaking detail, debunking completely all these narratives that have been going around this entire time. People have been saying, yo, Zach wasn't rocking out with y'all, and I give thorough accounts how Zach was rocking out with us the entire time, and how Netflix was rocking out with us the entire time. So yes, we are at this day now where we have been making a lot more headway, and it's been public, but these things have been out there for the better part of this entire year. It's just been about us trying to get that message out to people. So
yes, sir. That's why we're doing this. You know, we're spreading. If you have any questions about this movement, you know, feel free to ask in the chat, because we're gonna, like Sky said, Sky is very honorable. He's gonna give accurate information, even if it's bad news. That's one reason I love Sil Abdul. That's how I found you, Skywalker, is because I started watching Sil. He would keep it 100. If it was bad news, it's over. It's over, yo. It's over.
Yeah, so Mikey gave bad news that we hated hearing at times. Yeah, I mean, remember the Flash? I mean, there was all this bad news about erasing the Snyderverse.
And Scott said, nah.
I was like, we must find a way, right? And I had to do some soul searching, you know what I'm saying? And this the idea that we came up with, and we've been pushing it ever since, right?
Yep.
And yeah, speaking of live streams, I am going to be popping up. We're going to be doing a freezing cold takes after this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Nice. So y'all make sure that y'all pop over there, and we're probably going to be talking about some sales stuff. You know, I'm really excited, and I'm glad that SPR Dave is here, because I'm glad that we can show people that it's not really over. Right, and we've known that it hasn't been. You know what I'm saying? Like, I asked Zach personally, guys. I literally asked him personally, go check out that last stream and watch all the video evidence of Zach rocking out with us, right? And really speaking to the viability of this idea.
Sin Havoc said, "What is your profession?"
That scene right here that they're at, where they're helping Jenny out, and like Perry
Oh
is
my
like
God.
comforting her. It shows like
Right.
how, like
This is
everyone's
such
a
a-
hero. And
This is Sky.
This is such an emotional scene, bro.
This is Sky with the beta trying to go through the ops.
Bruh. Zach's done. He gave up. Dude, I'm like, ah! dude. Obviously, we're interested.
Obviously. So, yes, of course I would. We continue, of course.
Oh my God. Right? Yeah. Zach said, would I be interested in whatever way that, you know, these stories could be told or whatever medium? Of course I would, right?
You should have dropped the mic. You should have dropped the mic.
Oh my God, bro. Man, shouts out to Rhea. Like, I remember when Rhea put that tweet out just describing the whole situation. And I was like, yo, this was crazy. I didn't know that it was like, I mean, of course, you realize that it's going to be a big moment, but in the moment, you don't realize what you're doing. I was just trying to focus on getting the question out right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I pulled out my phone when I saw you get up. I was like,
Josh said, oh shit, I know something coming.
Let me do my lowest lane.
He's like, I know something coming, and I feel like I should have this on film. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't like know you before this. You know, I mean, I knew you.
No.
But you didn't know who I was at all. You were like,
you were a good lurker.
I was a lurker.
Bro, Josh Herrera was literally the first person that said hi to Sil, Abdul, and myself as soon as we got the full circle. And I had no idea who Josh was, right? Matter of fact, that was like because that was my first event going to being a content creator. So I was still used to getting people coming up to me that I didn't recognize, right? And Josh totally made that first experience kind of dope. And he was like, yo, is this the Still Nation section? And I was like, hey, what's going on? Right. And it was just very special. And I'm just glad that we were able to really meet each other and have these moments. And it's kind of led to us rocking out ever since. So
yes, sir.
Much love, bro.
For SPR Dave 77, Skywalker tweet is on the ticker at the bottom. Go ahead and give him a follow. He's going to be giving you accurate information in real time. He does regular streams. He's a content creator, but he's also a fan. So he's not going to be giving a fake narrative or fake headlines. Yeah. Do not listen to these fake narratives, please. That's why we're doing these types of things.
I am a fan before I'm a content creator, y'all. Like, real talk. Like, you know, I've made several choices that probably led to my channel, you know, not growing as fast as it could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we do these things because we're keeping the fan base at the forefront of each and every decision that we make throughout this entire journey. And we're just going to continue doing that into the future.
Shout out to you. So is Freezing Cold Takes going to be on your channel or Good Austin's channel?
The Good Austin. We are pulling up on the Good Austin's YouTube channel.
All right. So SPR Dave, go and follow Skywalker, and I'm sure you'll be tweeting about it. We're all, if you go through our posts, we're all tagged in like a lot of the posts. So just look at the tags. You'll be able to find the Good Austin. I'll actually put his on there too, on the ticker. I'll put yours too, Bat Dan.
Thank you.
Bat Dan also.
Bat Dan's thoughts.
Bat Dan's thoughts. This score, y'all. I'm getting. Woo! I need to hear more of the score. Like, this theme needs to live on.
I love how Colonel Hardy does that, uses Pharaoh's words against her.
Oh yeah.
And then Lois falls down, and luckily that ended up saving her life. Oh, you mentioned the good Austin, and look who just appeared in the chats.
Hey, shout out. He was here earlier. Shout out, Austin. He's always popping in and out of the Speed Force, resident Flash of the cool table.
Absolutely.
See,
it's funny how we've all.
I was going to say, just commenting on this movie, like, one thing that bothered me about Superman 2 is that why didn't they ever use kryptonite to stop Zod, whereas in Man of Steel, they just don't have kryptonite, so they don't have to worry about that plot hole.
Right. Zod is the one that low-key brought the kryptonite to Earth.
Yeah.
Right. I just love how everything was kind of repurposed and you know, there was a reason why everything was there. There was a reason why kryptonite all of a sudden got there, and just all these little threads that were going to play out in the future and everything, and all of the ends that was even tied up from this movie in the following two movies. So we really do need a true conclusion to these films. And I'm just happy that hashtag sale can kind of be at the forefront of that.
I mean, yeah, I like the event name. Like I was telling you, like my theory, I think Zach is such a G, just like your drop that you usually play with Sil, that he probably told WBD, "Oh yeah, it's called Full Circle. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm done." And then when you got the mic, he was like, "Oh, Superman, yeah, it's Superman." I know what he's gonna ask. Let's go. And gave him the sword.
Right? Because hey, it's only that he's been asking me about this sale thing all weekend, right? Oh,
here we go.
Hey, I love this part.
Yeah.
I quoted this in the space earlier, and it was so natural.
Excel.
For which I was born. Like, and no action take, no matter how violent or how cruel. It's for the greater good of my people. And now I was like, y'all my people, bro.
Yes, you are. We are.
Right?
What's kind of what I'm saying? Zod is the hero in his own story. He's just trying to save his race. See, if Zod was smart, though, he would have done nothing. He would have just saved his people by procreating.
That's true.
That's why he had that Genesis chamber.
Yep, that's true.
But now it's destroyed, so the only thing to do is just get on with a human. That's all you need to do. That's how you save the Kryptonian race.
The good Austin, he found something in the Speed Force. Maybe we have to tune into his stream to find out what that is.
Hey, I don't even know what he's talking about. So
okay, we might have a little after party, everybody.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Got bedtime.
Good Austin's channel is on the ticker in the bottom right after Skywalker's No Goliath. Go follow that as well if you're not following him, so we can get the answers from the Flash himself.
You know, so what's kind of a fun little nod in the Flash when they go back to when Barry Allen's in Metropolis. If you notice, they actually use the Zack Snyder color grading for that scene in that flashback.
Yep, 100%. We all, I think all three of us love the Flash, right?
Yeah.
We were because we know that it was homaging Zack Snyder. This right. It was homaging the real Snyderverse. Restore had its chance.
LexCorp again. Yeah, it did. It lost its chance when Snyder fans decided to boycott Henry Cavill's return.
Yep.
Oh man,
because they needed to feel good about themselves.
But hey, in in hindsight, guys, isn't it kind of crazy that a lot of the same people that were telling people to not go watch Black Adam is the same people that was telling people that, hey, the Snyderverse is done, right? That Netflix ain't interested. It's wild, yo. It's wild. Really wild, man.
They really thought that would blow away like sand in the desert. They really thought that what they were doing would not be exposed, but I've proven what you've done, like Lois says.
Right. And it's been on us to kind of keep this thing going. And we've known that everybody was going to see. That's why we haven't, or we never really engaged in a lot of the conversations that was going on with people trying to really denigrate what we were doing or what or just anything of that sort. So we always were very confident that people were going to see who actually was here for the right reasons, and I'm just glad that we chose to go that route, because we could have tried to go out and have these conversations in public, and it really could have gotten messy, but we always felt like, hey, it's all going to come out later, so why overreact, right?
Yeah. And don't let the betas win. Don't let the clout chasers win. Just ignore them, let them do their thing, and in the end, good prevails.
One thing that I've always loved, really quick, about the Zack Snyder comic book films is that he always has the proper scale of his characters, right? Yes. When you watch this versus like an Avengers movie, the actual scale of the humanoid characters is off. They're usually much bigger than they would be in real life. I love how, even though it's like these grand and epic moments happen, Zach always keeps the scale of what it would look like with actual humanoid people like fighting in a cityscape kind of situation.
100%, Scott, because now that you're saying that, I'm having flashbacks of Wonder Woman 84 when there was no physics happening over there.
Right.
And there's, that's a movie I do like, but there's nothing like, there's just not polish, there's not gravitas, there's not realism that is epic, that makes epic content like Zack Snyder, in my opinion.
So what do people want Superman to do here exactly? That's what I want to know. He wasn't supposed to kill Zod. There's no.
He was supposed to cover his eyes.
But wouldn't that kill him too? Because the heat vision would go in his eyes.
No, they actually showed it earlier that when that hits your hands, it actually burns your hands. So he actually wouldn't have been able to just cover his eyes, right? Like,
oh yeah, right.
The Skywalker corner and Zach at full circle right here, just like he said. Just like he said in the stream.
Bad Dan went right to it. He's like, I wonder what people wanted Superman to do right here, right? Like, and it's funny because Superman kills Zod at the end of Superman 2 anyway. I'm like, yo, you guys can't be fans, yo. You guys can't be fans.
He killed a depowered Zod and smiled. He didn't need to kill Zod in that movie.
Shouts out to Bad Dan, right? He said he killed a depowered Zod and smiled, right?
While doing it.
Right.
So SPR Dave, we were mentioned it earlier that all of a sudden WBD doesn't want to. So apparently, Skywalker, you were the first to say this. I think that Netflix was inquiring months ago about getting ZSJL on the platform. And SPR Dave 77, that's what we have the question too, because pretty much all Zach's movies, pretty much his whole universe is on the platform except Justice League. But they told us
real BVS.
They told us that Justice League was unsuccessful, but they didn't show that with the numbers. So could it be that they're trying to gaslight the fans because ZSJL is what is helping HBO Max, our Max now, have subscribers because we're the ones that are on that platform? We need to be switching over to Netflix. If you don't not have Netflix, this is where we need to be.
Because see, I wonder how much at this point, though, it would really help them, because most people who really want to see ZSJL would have just bought it by now on Vudu or physical media. A lot of the Snyderverse fans own it now.
Right. Yeah. And here is the thing too. I don't think. Look, I think that they're playing hardball for a reason. I think that there is a lot of, or right now we're in the. We have moved from the backdoor negotiations into the public negotiation realm now, right? Where you have Netflix that came out and said that they're interested, and then right after that, it's like, oh, but it's being held back because of the fact that they trying to keep their subscribers, right? And it's like, I am very much under the impression that Netflix will end up acquiring ZSJL as well as finishing out this Zack Snyder DC arc. I was told this by the late great Mikey Sutton. I have had no reason to doubt anything that this man ever said to me, right? And especially seeing as how now we're in a realm where, hey, he was telling me months ago that, hey, they're interested. They're trying to see what Rebel Moon is going to do, right? Blah, 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 blah. And like now we're at a point where they're fully behind Rebel Moon. They've been showing that they're fully behind it. And now we're moving into the space where after this film comes out and after it's a massive hit, I think that probably even maybe before Rebel Moon Part 2 hits, I think ZSJL might or will probably be on their platform. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that would be the perfect kind of segue into the launch of Rebel Moon Part 2, right? And it would give all of his fan base another massive reason to be Zactivated. And so, I'm really excited about the prospects. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, like Integrity said. What did he say? What's the quote?
Inevitable.
Yeah. Hey, I got to talk to Integrity for the first time. Shouts out to that dude, Joe.
Oh yeah, I missed that part of the space, but I heard about that. That's so cool that finally came out.
Shout out. I'm Irish, so shout out to Ireland over there.
Right. And because hey, I had to let everybody know, right? Integrity never wavered, yo. I haven't wavered since this sale idea has come to fruition, obviously, but Integrity never wavered. Even after Cavill said that he was done, I was like, yo,
even I wavered that.
He was making you mad. He was making you mad.
Bro, he made me mad, bro. I was trying to hold it in. I was like, bro, I don't want to hear this shit right now, bro. Cavill's done, bro. We done. Right?
That music, that tells me done.
Hey, when Lois says, welcome to the planet, double entendre.
Hey,
for sure.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
Story by Goyer and Nolan.
Classic. Yes, sir.
But you did Skywalker. You actually gave hope for DC again. You gave excitement, a possibility to get excited for DC again, to get the conclusion to the story that we love. And this is what people need to realize with the whole competition argument. This is what Gunny Poo even needs to realize. If you're worried about comparisons with Cavill, that's going to happen whether Cell happens or not. Unless you're going to erase everyone's memory of those 3 movies with Henry Cavill, 4 with Black Adam, people are going to compare Cavill to Corn Sweat no matter what. The only thing that will change with getting the conclusion to the story is I think there'll be more people who will give Gunn stuff a chance, because now there's not that resentment that Cavill's story isn't complete. It's like, it's what you said in that interview with comicbookmovie.com it was.
Yes, yes.
You said that exact point. You said that way gun stuff can be judged on its own merits.
Yes.
Now that the Snyderverse is getting concluded. So this is what, so like that's why the competition argument is so stupid to me, because there's going to be competition even if Cell doesn't happen because of that comparison.
Yep.
So,
hey, comparison is the thief of joy, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let us get our conclusion and we're going to be good. I don't know why they worried about all this comparison stuff. It's like, yo, just give us the conclusion and we'll all be much more willing to move on and to move forward. I even said it in that space earlier. As a Zack Snyder fan, I was always conditioned to know that there was going to be a reboot at the end of his story anyway. So it would be nothing changing. It would still be, hey, we're going to get a conclusion to this arc, and then they're going to reboot over at the DCEU. So I think that Bad Dan is absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. I don't think we're being unreasonable at all as a fan base. And I just, sorry, I have my headphones in. I was jamming to that Hans Zimmer score. I know you got a stream to go to Sky. Real quick, I just want to get Bat Dan's thoughts on how you feel after everything that Skywalker's talked about. How are you feeling now that me and Bat Dan missed your watch along, Sky? So that's why we did this, and we're so grateful that you came along. But Bat Dan, how do you feel now having the man himself here and talking about everything that's happened recently? How are you feeling?
Feeling really good right now. I feel with this article that's come out from Scott Stuber, there's a lot more validation, even more than what's already happened, that this is going to happen, that we are going to get the conclusion. This is the end of 2019, 2020, minus the COVID part vibes that I'm getting right now. This is coming. I feel it. It's real this time. And that we'll see the conclusion to the story that we love. And I'm not saying everyone, TJ. I'm just saying a lot more people will. I mean, me, I'll watch it as a content creator. But at the end of the day, all this is about getting the conclusion to the story that we love. So we can go back, we can watch those 5 movies, maybe a little more if we get a Batflick movie and the Ayer cut. You know, ask for it all, but take what they give you is my motto with that. And there's a lot of great stuff. I mean, we got to bump up the engagement. We got to show that we got to follow the trending events. This is not the time to fall right now. This is not the time to F up right now. We got to follow the rules of engagement. We got to trend like crazy on the 21st for the DC stuff, for the Celsius show to Netflix, Cell Snyderverse to Netflix. And the 22nd, give Rebel Moon a stay, because Rebel Moon's success is what's going to determine once and for all for Netflix that Zack stuff is worth investing in, because it's a lot of money for Netflix to invest in DC property. Not $1 billion like some people think, but it's still more money. So we can't let the haters go after us. We can't let the betas throw us off. We can't let the fake Snyderverse fans act up. We just, let them do their thing and we enjoy our thing. Don't give them power. Just focus on what we can do. We can do it. And just coming up on my channel, there'll be a lot more Crime at Christmas Time coming up. I'll do some remastered videos. I will definitely be doing
Crime at Christmas Time. I like that.
You can credit Austin for that one. He put that in the intro that he made for me for Christmas. So I decided I'm just going to run with it right now. So, and I'll also be reviewing the Batman Christmas special on Amazon Prime coming up. Another third-party content, DC on third party.
Mm-hmm.
So be on the lookout for that. I've been a little behind because I've had a cold, but hopefully I can get back on track with Crime at Christmas Time. And guys, there's a lot of great stuff coming up. This is a great time to be a DC fan right now. And we cannot let Mikey said that it was going to get much harder the betas, the ops are going to get a lot more active as we get closer. Well, we are as close as ever right now. So don't falter. Just keep doing what we're doing, and we can do this.
Well said, Bat Dan. We can and we will do this. Man, thank you for coming back, Dan. I just want to give the floor real quick to the homie, the man himself. I love to refer to him as Super Skywalker the Jedi. Thank you so much. It's an honor for you to hang out with me, man. And Bat Dan and everyone here, because you've given us so much of your time. How are you feeling right now, knowing that this fan base has been following your lead and accomplishing wonders? And we are all joining you in the sun. How are you feeling right now?
Man, it feels great, yo. Honestly, we've known this entire time that what we were doing was the right thing and that this was the way. As the homie DC Talk just said, right? Sail has been the way. So it's been quite the journey up to this point. And it's been very exciting having everybody actually see that what we were saying was the truth now. And so I think that going forward, we're going to continue to just try to drive as much engagement with Netflix as we possibly can. Now that we know that we've been heard, I really feel like it is incumbent upon us to really make this thing as big of a hit as we possibly can. Not only just the DC projects, but Rebel Moon as well. It has to be a smash hit. All of these things go hand in hand. And I think that if we're able to do both of these things, right, one being driving a massive amount of engagement towards the DC projects, and two, if we're able to drive an even bigger amount of engagement to Rebel Moon, I think that those two things can lead to us getting what we have been so desperately fighting for all these past few years. I know that it has been hard being a Zack Snyder fan throughout all these past. I mean, it's been almost a decade now that we've been having to fight these fights and try to fight for the right to just be a fan in peace, right? And a right to enjoy the movies that we so love and to do it unapologetically. It has been quite the journey. There's been tons of ups and downs and all those types of things. And I think that what made this campaign here different was that we were determined to learn from the mistakes of the past movements and past campaigns and really try to come up with ways that we could alleviate a lot of those problems. And so when we did things like create the rules of engagement at the very beginning of this, we were doing that with the hopes of differentiating ourselves from these past movements, and we seem to have done that with these last comments from Scott Stuber. So it's been very exciting. I think that we're at the home stretch now. It's just very important that everybody engage with Netflix as much as you possibly can. Watch these DC projects. Tell everybody, tell a friend, tell all your family members to watch, and also continue to push Rebel Moon and to let everybody know that it's coming out, and we got to get everybody watching that film, and we have to engage with that in a massive way. We have to make it one of Netflix's biggest hits ever. They have given us a whole lot, and it's up to us to really take what they've given us in terms of all of these like trailers and things that they've been doing for Zach and the fan base. We have to take that and really slam that home, right? So shouts out to all of you guys that have been rocking out with #Sale from the very beginning. These days are starting to feel very, very special. And for everybody that has been here this whole time, it will feel even more so special for all of you guys. But even if you're new on the train, there's still more than enough time to rock out and to really help be a part of history and to really help get these get these stories brought to a conclusion. So thank you for having me on, Josh. I appreciate you and Bat Dan doing this, bro. You continuing to drive engagement as much as you possibly can, and it is efforts like this that make what we're doing on our end so much easier, bro.
Thank you so much for those words, Sky. Yeah, and I really think that it needs to just be stated, if people don't get it, that we have this universe on Netflix right now. So what did I do as soon as Man of Steel ended? I'm getting a little bit of jump start, Sky. I'm gonna join on Friday, but I got BVS playing right now. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it Friday. Okay, Skywalker Jedi is doing a stream, but
yes, the official BVS watch along for the hashtag sales ESJL to Netflix, hashtag sales Snyderverse to Netflix watch along will be on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. We will be there rocking out, watching BVS on the platform, and I want to make sure that all you guys are there and check me out after this on Freezing Cold Takes, as well as I'm sure that we're going to be talking something about Cell, because it's the biggest story like in Hollywood right now, and we're at the forefront of it. So shouts out to all y'all.
I didn't know if you have this planned yet, but we definitely are going to do BVS with you on Friday. DC Talk was asking about cartoons and cereal Saturday. Do you have that yet, or not gonna?
Of course I have that, but we will announce it very soon. But of course I know what we watching, but y'all don't gotta know yet. Y'all just gotta know that it's on Netflix, you know what I'm saying, and wait for the announcement.
There's an after party at Freezing Cold Takes, the Good Austin's channel down below. Everybody, let's head on over there. Do you know what time that's happening? Is it pretty soon?
Yeah, it should be starting pretty soon. Austin is setting that up, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we're gonna be rocking out in a bit.
All righty. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got a long stream ahead of you. Thank you everyone for showing up. Continue to engage with Netflix. Me personally, I work from home. I'm privileged enough to do that. So what am I doing? I'm streaming Zach stuff. I'm engaging with the platform all day, all night. When I want something, I love the score, Hans Zimmer score. I'm literally like listening to the background music, as I'm working and whatnot. So continue to engage. We got Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad. We got Wonder Woman 2017. We got Wonder Woman 1984. We got Birds of Prey. We got what else? Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam, definitely. I want that Superman fight.
Continue to stream Black Adam. It is top 8 movie on Netflix. Suicide Squad is 5, and no other movie in the top 10 DC movie matters other than that. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for showing up to this. I want to give a shout out to everyone who shared the stream. I'm not really a professional YouTuber. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Head over to the Good Austin's channel at No Goliath. Actually, real quick, I think I'm going to try to do this since you're here, Sky. I'm going to try to share my screen, because earlier I mentioned to you how I felt I followed people who weren't really good leaders, and they were flip-floppers. So I found a drop that I wanted to share with you if I could. Let's see. Is it okay? Screen. All right. Wait, you're probably not seeing the right thing. Hold on. Here it is. All right. Can you see my screen?
No. Oh wait. Yeah. We can see it now. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna try to play it real quick for you.
Flip-flop, flippy-flip-flopping ass bitch. Flip-flop, flippy-flip-flopping ass bitch.
So I just wanted to say thank you so much for not being one of those. Okay. I don't know if I did.
We are not.
Oh my God. I thought I was a savage, bro. Oh my God.
That was specifically for everyone. Just as motivation to continue to stay the course. Don't be a flip-flopper, like Beyonce said. Hail to the Queen. I love all y'all. Good Austin's channel. I don't have an outro or anything. I'm just going to consider that my outro. So
have a fantastic day.
Have a bat-tastic day, everybody. Hashtag sells the way. All right, I'm going to do this.